Thanks so much for joining us here at noon. I'm Brooke Hash. For the first time in years, Jefferson County Public Schools will start the year with more bus drivers than routes. That was the good news Superintendent Dr. Marty Polio gave during a news conference today detailing what's ahead for the new year. Our Ian Hardwitt talked to him this morning. Ian, how did JCPS pull this off?
Brooke, the district switched back to in-house staff creating routes after dropping the AI tool Alpha Route that they used last year. And with 3 start times down from last year's 9, that's helping the district consolidate routes. But route cuts to some magnet schools is the biggest shift in this equation. That's left thousands of families without magnet transportation. A parent lawsuit is trying to restore that, but the judge likely won't rule on any changes before the first day of school. The superintendent hopes the cuts make the leftover routes more manageable for drivers and students, plus reduce the millions of uncountable minutes students have lost in the classroom.
We've had kids missing minutes each and every day in many of our schools, and we had to really make sure we had an intense focus on getting kids to school on time and getting them picked up as efficiently as possible.
Those cuts came after the district lost 200 drivers since the pandemic. Now these bus rollbacks could be reversed, with 70 TARC drivers joining JCPS's fleet. The district is eyeing the restoration of some magnet routes. A decision on that with some weeks into the school year will come on the August 20th board meeting. Superintendent Polio said he's more optimistic than ever about the future of JCPS, but knows the first day of school always comes with some bumps in the road. I'm live in studio, Ian Hardwitt.
Ian, thank you. And it is back to school for Clarksville Community Schools today. And there's been no downtime for staff with summer renovations. The middle school had its bleachers upgraded over the summer and new restrooms installed. Over at the high school, the cafeteria got a big makeover. Classrooms were all repainted and new carpet installed as well. The locker rooms received an upgrade, along with the turf for the football, baseball, and softball fields. And this week is a big one for back to school. 1,200 kids with Scott County District 1 also returned to the classroom today, with Bullitt County headed back tomorrow. Wednesday, we'll see a dozen Kentuckiana districts return, including Hardin, Meade, and Shelby counties. And then Thursday, JCPS students head back. We've got all of these dates listed online for you right now at WHAS11.com at that homepage. Jefferson Community and Technical College just celebrated a major milestone with the topping off ceremony this morning to mark progress on its Jefferson Rising revitalization project. Crews placed the final steel beam on what will become the new science building. JCTC said the first phase of this project will feature $90 million in upgrades, including a new green space and parking garage on West Broadway. And the lights are back on at Dusker Manor. The Louisville Metro Housing Authority said power was restored around 8:30 last night in Building C. Officials said the power was out for over 44 hours after a sprinkler burst around midnight on Friday. We're told crews encountered an issue with aging infrastructure, which is why it took so long to repair. Yet another sign for those who live at Dusker Manor of the urgency needed to get out of that complex.
Us as people, we don't have a choice but live here because it's all we can afford.
This place is not no good a place to live at.
They need to be moved ASAP out of these living conditions.
Metro Housing has already begun the process of moving people out. The buildings are scheduled to be demolished, but right now there is no timeline for that. In a statement, LMAHA said this situation highlights the need for a more permanent solution. We are committed to relocating residents from Dusker Manor to better housing as quickly as possible. Today begins daily lane closures on the Kennedy Bridge. Now through Friday, crews will close lanes from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. The Kentucky Transportation Cabinet said this is so engineers can do routine inspections. Meanwhile, all westbound lanes of the Sherman-Minton Bridge are closed for the next 9 days. KYTC says this will allow crews to work on cables and other construction work. During this time, the exit ramp to Elm Street will also be closed. Westbound lanes should reopen by Wednesday, August 14th.